Let's get this party started. And the lighting in here is just all weird. Why is that? Well, a little disappointment, or maybe not. But I overslept. This staying up till like midnight with guests is a problem for me waking up. So I overslept. I vaguely remembered turning my alarm off, going back to sleep for another hour, waking up on my own. And then I had a frustrating work dream. Like, really? Like, thanks. So, are you going to make the propeller movable? No, it's too late. I've moved it. I've glued it into position. It's too late. No, I'm putting it up. It's probably never going to cross the water. I don't know what the water crossing rules are. I guess you could do a scenario where it starts in the water. A scenario where it's bogged in the water and you have to go get it. So I had a short breakfast, extremely rushed. I did notice that there was a guy that I subscribed to his videos, Mr. Doogie, and I watched half of his video, which either he started to speak clearly or I'm evolving and I understood everything he said. So that's good. So you costed up a few DBA armies and DBF. Ottoman Turks, the non-light horse heavy version comes to comes to 50 points, 49 with a horde. Medieval Irish come to 54. Medieval Irish are more expensive? What? It's Odago that's invaluable. Remember I was talking about old kits? Good morning, Barnes. Oh, good. The British gang is here. Remember I was talking about old kits and old directions and dust? I'm already stopping up because of this motherfucker right here. COVID in a box. Forget COVID. It's just an old fucking dust, man. It's been around since the Old Testament, since the Dead Sea Scrolls. Excuse me while I choke on the Dead Sea Scrolls. The B Viking list comes to 84 points because of all the blades. So it's going to force people to not be able to use blades as much. That's good. Is there a PDF version of the rules? Watched the video this morning and then started watching the Battleground HD. Seems to be more focused on modern warfare. Well, you know what I liked about it was that template of the single character and the area. I thought that was really well done. You're not going to get me on the grenades though, because I'm like a grenade aficionado. It all works on grenades. It's all about grenades. Oh shit. Okay, this is off screen. We got a crooked spider here. Let's get rid of that. Got to keep the bots at bay. You think that's ever going to change? You think we're ever going to be a time where we can, I don't want to say proudly display, but display flags of the crooked spider without having to hide them from the bots that might get offended. Probably not. Have to have another World War. Let's not have one of those. All right, 6 and 7. So we got a part here that is, okay, this is the front. So we're going to align this. And 6 has a couple little off the front here. That's this one. Ooh. The MG34 is actually really pretty nicely done. I have a friend of mine who is an aficionado of the first Battleground rules. Now, he's also an aficionado of 28 millimeter. So here comes the old dilemma. If I had to play the Face of Battle in 28 or something else in 20, I'd play something else in 20 because I am about the figures. I'm not painting 28s. I don't hate 28s. They take up too much space, and it's too late. I'm way too gone. I'm like stage 6 20 millimeter. Okay, that's a change of channel of that. Stage 6 20 millimeter, and like I'm not doing there's no way I would do ancients or medievals and not in 15 millimeter. Like even if I went to like, hey, let me reformulate all of my armies into, I don't know, Cry Havoc. I've never played Cry Havoc. It looks like I would have enjoyed it at one time. But hey, let me individually base all my figures. Well, I'd still do it in 15s. No PDF yet. Oh, and with Dougie, I work with some people with his accent, and you do eventually start to decipher them. No, I think he's gotten better. It's not his accent, and it's not his accent, because his accent is like totally like, it is not bad. It's that, and different cultures do this. They avoid saying words. Like they'll read a sentence and they won't read all of the words. It's not like all of the words in their accent. It's they skip over some of the words. And that's the problem. Is I don't understand if what you skipped over is a tiny contraction or so yeah, but I was like thrilled. I'm like, holy shit. Although I do realize that if I'm going to do reviews and unboxings, I need to get a sidekick that goes, yeah, every time to time. I got a kick out of that. Yep, or whatever it was that his son was saying. I like that. Now, he's an excellent painter. Or at least the stuff I've seen in the past. Easy 8 Enterprises. Yeah. Somebody gave me one of the scenario books, and I was disappointed. I was disappointed by like the obvious errors in it. I'm like, hey, you can just fix them, but then, it's like I said. Sometimes you buy something, you're like, oh, well, let's see what the experts say, and then you realize that the experts don't know that much more than you do. They don't have access to some holy grail of a text or something that you don't. All right, what's here? What's stuck here? Is it old epoxy or something? Are the DBF rules available in any format other than Lulu? Okay, there's the 2 axles. And then we just give up on the axles. And build all kinds of stuff. Okay. The muffler at the top. They give you a paddle? Wow. Paddle, get away from me. That's the Ken Cran thing. You'll get your time. Up the creek without a paddle. These figures aren't bad. I'm really surprised. They really are not bad. The muffler is 13. It's got a fair amount of flash on it though. Like overpour. I work in concrete. That's overpour. Hold on. Now imagine some officers in World War II trying to communicate. One Geordie like Dougie and one Appalachian. I think you can think you find me. What? I think you're going to jam down there. What? I think German over there. What? Jeez. Although if I'm not sure if that'll change or when. They seem to have done what Ambush Alley did. Ambush Alley started with their modern game. Also Ambush Alley, Force on Force, the World War II game. Gabriel Bataillon. That's a great last name. One who fights battles. Or something like that. Sounds similar to that. Buenos dias. I had to speak for our non-Spanish speakers. You know, when I went to Spain, I met a Facebook friend in Spain that wanted to come meet me. He never asked me for my autograph. I'm a little disappointed. Anyways, I sat down to have a cup of coffee with him and his wife and my wife, and next thing you know, we're there 4 hours. I'm like, and he's like, okay, well, we gotta go. Hey, we're on vacation. I could have stayed, but it's like, man, I'd known him my whole life. Pretty crazy. And I wasn't expecting to speak to him in Spanish the whole time because speaking to somebody about wargaming stuff in Spanish would be a challenge. Because I don't do this in Spanish. I don't know technical words, you know. I know what a motorcycle is, and that's about it. It's limited vocabulary. Obviously, I could read it. I know what I'm reading, but limited. Ooh, this is coming off nice. But I proceeded the next 3 or 4 hours to speak the entire thing to him in Spanish. So I'm just rusty. And you know, I don't talk about my mom. I don't talk to my mom and dad about this stuff. If I did, then I would know. So yeah, I just spoke to him in Spanish as good as I could, and then all right, this fucker's killing me, man. It's got to be this. There's nothing in here other than these boxes and that. And they came from fucking Don. I'm going to have to give him hell about that. He's got COVID in his fucking attic or something. Not really, but... Alright, we got to do something. Let's, Alright. Let's put this shit away. Jesus Christ. I mean, I never have a runny nose. It's not like I'm one of those guys that's always sniffling. Whew. What went wrong for you trying to decant? Excellent word. But now I need a drink. Because that's a drinking word. Games Workshop paint into a smaller pot. That's an excellent question. That's an excellent question. There's a force as if how many cars when Osprey developed Ambush Alley, they call it Force on Force. I had that Force on Force. It was hardback, and I had the Cold War Gone Hot, and I also have the Rhodesia one, Bush War. Cities built such World War II insurgency during the Rhodesian conflict. Yeah, I didn't like that. It was a little too generic for me. The rule book was too pretty. They were beautiful. I sold them for. I got my money back. They funded some of my 20 millimeter stuff through Noble Knight. Okay, so what went wrong? So I watched a video, and I bought the little dropper bottles, and I did the standard silver, whatever the hell it's called. I can't remember which one it is, but not mithril, but like the chainmail version. Okay. And you have to water it down. You have to put like drops and mix it so it's pourable. And in order of making it pourable, I thinned it down so much that when I go to shake it to mix it, it makes a mess because there's an amount of space, of airspace between the nozzle and the top of the container. But some paints, when you shake them, they don't make that much of a mess. Generally, Vallejo is those. The Ammo MIGs are a third as watery, maybe even twice as a third more, or maybe twice as watery as Vallejo. And every time you shake them, you get a fair amount of liquid in the top. And that one, it just took forever, and it had a lot of liquid sloshing around. That's all. Nothing else went wrong other than that. It was just like a big old mess, you know. So I'd just rather just avoid them completely. Because they're, you know, it didn't have the intended consequences. Was it Lead Belcher that I did? Yeah. I think I have it here somewhere. I don't think I threw it away, but if I do, I don't know where it is. But it was a little disappointing in that department. So I already feel a little better. There's something evil in there, man. There's something evil. He claims it was sitting in his attic. I hope I don't lose my taste of my sense of smell. That happened to me. I bought all these models, started working on them. They were all stacked here. If you watch one of my other videos, couldn't smell. I could taste, couldn't smell. I went to a store that had perfumes and things with my wife. When I came back, I was like, no, I'll go to the store with you. We'll pick out hand soaps and stuff like that. They were having a big sale, and we're going to pick up hand soaps. I couldn't smell any of them. None. And I felt fine. It wasn't like, had a fever or anything. Just good old dust. Well, this is going to be my instruction thing here. Cement 212s. Okay, well, you're just describing the headlamps. Larger bottles may be easier to work with. Yeah, I don't know. I saw a video and I'm like, let me try it. So of course I go to Amazon and I get 50 of those little dropper bottles. I don't know where they're at. They're probably in the garage or whatever. But I've used one of the 50. Maybe if I find those bottles, I'll have to do some mixes. Because there's some colors coming up that I'm going to have to mix. Like the walrus. The walrus that I have by Airfix. Not Airfix. See? I told you I get Airfix and Matchbox mixed up. The Matchbox walrus has colors that I'm going to have to mix. I don't know. I had no idea that RAF aircraft colors were so elusive. I'm like, oh, everybody builds British aircraft. Surely Vallejo makes the exact match. Nope. They don't. Mold, maybe. If stored in a loft or cellar, it's in a loft, has an effect like pollen on me. Mold, huh? Well, it doesn't look moldy, but I guess it doesn't. Maybe. That was weird. But I literally came in here and I started like feeling the effects of that. I'm like, holy shit. His house isn't that old. It's not like, who knows where it came from. That's why I moved everything back to the garage. Because I was like being attacked by all this stuff. Yeah, so anyways, I understood everything in this video. It was like crazy, like holy shit. Now the other thing that made a difference is I was wearing headphones. Okay, so when I'm wearing headphones, I don't hear well to begin with. Huh? Exactly. And it's like I was gonna call him Nigel. No, Frasier. When I watch Frasier's videos, I can't. He has a lot less of an accent, but he speaks really low and his volume is really low, and I can't turn it up loud enough. Plus, I think he's in his room has a little bit of an echo in it. Well, I know one thing's for sure: everybody understands my accent because I'm like Captain Generic accent. But I'm a morpher, so if I go live in one of these places where some of you live, I would eventually pick it up, and my daughter is too. She came back from Spain speaking the Spanish, which is really cute. The okay. Well, we're going to be out in nature today, so that'll clear all that up. But we're going to have a short show, anyways. Not by choice, but we got to go kayaking. So yeah, it just gave me basically no idea, no interest to move another thing over, transfer another paint over. Sometimes you have high hopes for something and it just doesn't fulfill those, and sometimes it's all that and better. You're going to be running interference on me? Yeah, but it seems to be a purely modern rule set. Now I gotta find the chain of command 2 review. Yeah, just out of curiosity. See what they changed. Heck, I haven't even played Face of Battle version 2. I'm hoping the morale is simple. That's one thing I can deal with. I can deal with a game that has simplified morale. I can't deal with a game that has simplified uh, firearm data. Oh, it's a submachine gun. Well, is it an MP40 or a paper shot? They're the same. The hell they are. The hell they are. Well, I'm going to paint them the same. They both have a wooden stock. I'll be able to watch Kelly's Heroes and Where Eagles Dare to compensate for your short show. Also painting panthers. That's right, he's got his show coming on today. Is that like a regular thing for him? Well, the one show that I noticed he didn't get anything done. He just talked. Which is fine. I mean, that's getting something done. Maybe he's in one of those situations like I am that he doesn't have. Oh, this is well detailed. This is well, he doesn't have anybody to talk about on his day-to-day basis about his hobby. I can already feel something happening. Upscope. Hunching my neck over too much. Let's move it to the same height as the other one. That's why wargaming, this is perfect for wargaming. I jack this thing up another foot. You know, then you can like stand up and do that sort of thing. You're going to watch, well, let me know what happens in Kelly's Heroes. I bet if I showed Kelly Heroes to my daughter and didn't say anything to her about it. Remember, I've only seen it one time, so I actually might have a different take on it than I did. She'd probably say, "What's all this hippie stuff in it?" We need a Wer ist mein Don't tell me it's over there. Why would it be over there? Pinvice. Pinvise. No, doesn't have that type of an end. Trying to be diligent about where I put things, but there's another X-Acto knife over here. Huh. Did it fall? Yeah, it fell in. Dental work. Yeah, that subsided. Mold in the corner. He tends to only do an hour, as it's 22:30 in Australia. Yeah, I don't dislike replacing it with. I don't dislike the hits with dice. I think that's a good thing. That's welcoming. I don't like modifiers. This is not drilled out. It's like I bought some of these Chinese drill bits. I was wondering if this one was going to drill through. Yeah, I can't commit to like, it's only going to be this amount of time, even though I have a short session in the mornings, because that's kind of depressing, man. That's the one thing that I dislike about this hobby is the time goes by way too fast. But he spends most of his time making actual videos, which I'm not a fan of. It's actually it's not the making the video part that's the unpleasant part for me. It's everything else. The uploading, not the uploading. That's you could do other things when you're uploading. It's the crunching, the breaking, what they used to call breaking it into packets. I don't know what it's called now. I'm not in that industry, but 20, 2230 in the good part of Australia, right? Or you didn't say it was a good part of Australia. It's all the good where all the good Australians live. Does that mean that there's that the people that are in the other part of Australia aren't good, or they need to get over to the good side? This thing is well made. I mean, I know this is an old model. Crap, now I gotta see how far these things go in. Uh-oh. You know, that's happening more and more. All right, I can't grab that. Now I got something to fix. I even heard it. Felt it too. Let's open this up a little bit more. That's why I don't like people touching my stuff, because if I'm careful and still break things. Let's remove this. Let's enlarge in this. Don't want a lazy-eyed Schwimmwagen. Your lazy-eyed Schwimmwagen. All right, let's see if we can fix this before. I'm blaming it on the mold. So Don, damn you, you and your white mold. clip this on that's going to be durable enough to not get broken. We have this and it's underused. I used to use this all the time to paint my Gaslands cars. It was definitely of its time. They changed director close to the time of production. It was meant to be more serious. The Italian film Inglorious Bastards. The non-Palm descendant. Well, I'm not following you on that. Palm is in what? The British folks. I just don't like the hippie references and the theme music. And I watch it again, and I'm probably gonna like it more the next time I watch it. But I watched it with a friend of mine, and it was apparently his dad's favorite movie. I didn't watch it with his dad. I think his dad had already passed away. He lost his dad pretty young when he was like 19. I think he was 18 or 19 when he lost his dad from cancer. His dad was young. He was 49 years old. Which is funny because at the time I thought of him as like he was a lot older than that. But I'm like, shit, I've been 49 a while. Okay. Now see, here we have a problem. We have the side of this that tells you to attach this piece. This long piece right here. Damn it, man. There we go. This long piece right here. But there's no holes in it or little guide things on there for it. Well, I don't have the Osprey skateboards of the Third Reich, so I don't know where to put this thing. I know that we're going to have a paddle. Let's read on. What are we doing next? Could decide what to do that later. Tell me to put the driver in. We will do no such thing. I do need the steering wheel. It's interesting that they make me put an MG34 there. Oh, hold on 1 second. Okay. I got another 15 minutes. Damn it. Oversleeping the freaking wrong mornings. Sons of bitches. Well, I don't know if we'll be back on later today. We will be tomorrow. Oh, it tells you to put the little thing down. Well, screw you. We're not putting it down. It looks weird. Like it's got an umbilical cord that hasn't been snapped off or something. Well, they literally put no effort in to have you put the little dash here. That's why I didn't mess with a Messersmith this morning. I knew I couldn't do enough of it to really be worth. By the time I get my tones out there, it's time to remove them. Let's get this little steering wheel joker out. Palm was a prisoner of majesty, which was on the uniforms of the prisoners in the penal colony on the east coast of Australia. Interesting. Oh, so the east coast of Australia had all the bad people, huh? All the ex-cons. Actually, they're ex-cons now. They were cons back then. That's funny. Here's the thing I don't get, right? The Irish and the English don't get along, right? I mean, as a general rule, historically. Not people, you know, I think people can I think people can rise above that. So why do they drive on the English side of the road in Ireland? Like that really surprises me. Maybe you let them carry swords in Ireland, sabers. That might be worth it. It might be worth it to drive on the wrong side of the street, but I get to carry a sword with me everywhere I go. Like, you know, that's a good trade. Wait, I live in America. We can do that anyways. Ha 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 ha. What a sturdy steering wheel. Well, that doesn't give you hardly anything to attach that thing from. You gotta put it at a funky angle by yourself. I'm sniffling like a cocaine addict. It's coke. Actually, I haven't been having that much lately. But this stuff to mix with water that has just as much poison but no carbonation or caffeine. I've been drinking that instead. You know, because they poison all the stuff that we put in our body here in America. You know, there's some truth to that. They got different stuff in Europe. I was impressed. I was impressed. I was like, holy shit, we don't do everything right here. Well, what do you know? I mean, who wants to visit a place where they do everything? Are all these the same? Nope, one of them is different. That's the one that goes on the front there. Well, if we do that, we're going to have to attach it in a different place. And these things have more torque than an angry crocodile. Can you imagine the roads at the border when they would have to change sides of the road? It would definitely have to be a roundabout, just for humor. I just can't imagine going to Ireland, driving on the wrong side of the road, and then, Ireland, No, that would be a mess. It's funny because that's what everybody in America associates with the Irish, that they drink a lot. But there's a lot of cultures that drink a lot more than the Irish. And obviously it depends on the person. This is a really nice MG34. Like it's like done correctly. As opposed to Fujimi. When you're a kid, you're like, oh man, this art look looks awesome. This must have great detail in this model. Not necessarily. And it broke off because it was so damn brittle. All right, well I think we might be able to fix that. Or we'll just put that MG34 somewhere else and use a different one. We got enough of them. Tony's Mishap Corner. Shit's gonna happen. The question is it gonna bring you down? Just like that. Okay, perfect. Should have been using this helping hands thing all the time. I mean, I bought it. Way too much, way too much. Now, I'm going to move it like like this. So we have gravity working for us, not against us. And when I come back to this, it should be good as new, right? I've welded it back into one piece. What else we got on here? Yeah, I'm gonna leave those little braces to the end. I don't know what's going on there. One of these is different. It's the one that goes on the hood. That's this one. Yeah, have a border crossing where they switch sides. And then you have the guards that are like those guys that stomp around from India and Pakistan. The Ministry of Funny Walks. Actually, I don't think that's that silly. That's like a pair of roosters parading for each other. What's ridiculous is I saw a video one time of, I think it was an Indian artillery piece. I don't know what it was. Like a 152 millimeter artillery piece or whatever. And they're going through these antics, preparing to fire it. I was like, dude, by the time you're done, the war's over with. Antics. I'm liking this helping hands thing, man. Well, I learned my lesson. Like, I was being careful and I still botched it up. I'm like, all right, well, we need another level of security. We need more PPE. It actually has really good detail. I'm surprised. I have to look that up if people have experienced the mold issue from old instructions. I think when I'm done here, I'll just take it back to the garage and take a photocopy of the instructions and just leave the stuff there. And yeah, it felt pollen-like. And we get a lot of pollen here, a lot. And in this part of the world and in this particular house, I got all these pine trees and the back porch is completely covered in gets completely covered in yellow stuff. We'll glue these tires on and then we're done. See if I can grab this in a way and not destroy what I've worked on. Can't grab it there. Looks like the front wheels stick out farther than the back wheels. I don't know if that's supposed to be the case. But the axle in the front is longer. No, we're going to build it as is if we don't like it later. That didn't work either. I have one of these that stays permanently closed. And then you open it, you put pressure on it, and it stays open. And it really should, that's actually really handy. Let's grab it here. I don't know where the hell it is. It doesn't weigh anything. Like a bathtub with wheels. Nazi bathtub with wheels. Okay, well, we're going to have to stop. So, I don't know that we'll be back today. Definitely on for tomorrow. I'll try to be back on today because I'd like to get these little Schwimmwagens and Kettenkrats done. And we can paint them all in a big, one shot. Who's that? Really should probably put away some of these tools. And I always like, nope, you're in my way again. You're in my way. I don't. You need you. And there's things that I bought like in a multiple set, and like I never use it. I never use that. All right, folks. Well, thanks for stopping by. We'll see you.